Okay, when you are ready, introduce yourself, introduce the run, give me a countdown for the timer to start, and we'll get ourselves started.
Okie doke. Do you want me to start any time now?
Yeah, just anytime you want, just as long as I get a countdown first.
Right. Okay. Right. Well, I guess we'll get started right away. I'll just quickly introduce myself. Is that all right to go ahead and do?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry. Introduce yourself, introduce the run, countdown for the timer, and then we'll get the run started.
Brilliant. Okay. So, first and foremost, hello. I'm Viper, also known as Viper UK or Viper Races. This is Viper Racing. This is Disney's Treasure Planet, released back in 2002 for the PS1. We're going to do the any percent category today. So if we're ready on time, we'll give you a countdown from 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so Treasure Planet for the PS1. We only have to do a couple of levels in this game. We don't have to do too many. So this game consists of having several levels plus races and things like that. However, a lot of this is actually so this is an adventure game, so it involves platforming, exploration, and that sort of thing. Now, first thing I'll just point out straight away is this is being played on emulation. This is why it's able to run so fast. So what we're going to do here is we're going to so we play this character called Jim, and we're going to collect these yellow tokens. And what we're going to do here is we're going to get our lives down to 0. And we're going to get rid of Jim. However, what we've just done there is actually something different. So the timer carries on. This is all part of the trick. So we do basically a glitch by when we activate the death animation that we're actually falling in the menu. Now, we can only do this by having no lives left, which means this happens. You fall from the bottom, and then what you're able to do is you're able to fall from the bottom to the top. So the level actually works like a portal, essentially. So if you ever play the game Portal, you'll know that like you can actually fire something at the top and some at the bottom. And that's how the game works. So you fall down enough and you respawn from the top. And this allows us to perform, a glitch. So it'll become very useful, allows us to skip certain doors and areas and things like that. So the first thing we've got to do here, so you may notice that what we're doing here is we are helping Ethan. Who's our friend here. He's basically got some parts that he wants us to keep safe. So we're going to do this to get some tokens. So one of the key things about this game is that the game works by tokens. And pretty much the way you have to do it is you have to get all 5 tokens, but then in the races give off 3 tokens depending on how fast you are. So we have to collect altogether 12 tokens normally. So we're actually going to use a few skips as well in this. So by that I mean we are going to turn around and go, right, okay, so to skip some of the game, we'll basically be able to use this glitch, like the death abuse glitch thing. You can see here that we have, in the top left corner, you may have just seen that we have no lives. So basically that makes Jim invincible. And the way he becomes vulnerable again, and is able to die properly, is by he's able to if you collect a life, you reset the life count back to 0. You may have seen there that we collected a treasure map piece. So part of the story involves a guy called Captain Flint, and the whole point is to try and capture all his treasure. Now we won't actually explore Treasure Planet that much because, like I said, we're going to be glitching a lot. Also, I'm going to run over here real quick and these. So what we actually need to do on this run that I haven't mentioned yet is we need to collect 200 doubloons. So at the moment we're not on that many, but what we'll do is we'll collect a lot more as the game goes on. So as this game progresses, you'll see here, so we use this death abuse glitch to jump up there. Even though we could probably jump up there, it is actually faster to do this. So we're going to come back into frame here. What we'll do here is collect a secret one there. And then what we're going to do here is, so Jim is going to do this. And then what we're going to do is, because he starts glitching from the top, so I can actually use, got chance. There we go. So you can actually skip a trigger. Well, not a trigger. What you can skip here. What I'm doing here is everything's going a bit quick. But basically, what we've done is you have to pay for a union fee thing. But by using this glitch, you don't have to actually pay for the union fee, and you're able to skip ahead and still carry on with the rest of the game. There are some bits like this, for example, where we need to make sure that we are still doing the game like normal, and you'll see that we'll make ourselves vulnerable a little bit later on, but there's a reason for that. So I'm gonna do that, and then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna fall down this hole here. So first things first, there's these two green gates that are shut, but thanks to trickery in the game, you're actually able to bypass these. So I'm gonna go over here. There we go. And we're going to be able, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to collect 5 light bulbs for the generators. Now, we'll actually collect all 5, but here's the thing. We're not actually going to use all 5, so we'll actually collect one but won't use it. This is because of the fact that if you collect all 5 a bit early on, what you'll end up doing is you'll end up getting the game soft locked because you'll complete an objective before it's given to you. So for the sake of things, we're not going to do that. So we're going to go over here, like so. We're going to shoot our laser that we have. So the thing is, for those that don't know what Treasure Planet is about, like I said, it was made by Disney in 2002. It was a modern take on Treasure Island, that old tale. For those that don't know, it's about a guy called... Well, in the case of this film, it's about a guy called Jim Hawkins, and he goes to find treasure of Captain Flint. Now, I don't know who the main villain is of the actual Treasure Island, sorry, but I think it's Long John Silver from memory. So John Silver on this one is actually he's like a cyborg. So yeah, there you go. I'm gonna go down here. Oh, hello. Get rid of him. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to collect all of this. We're going to collect that, but not actually put it in the generator. So the generator that generator will actually come back to. So because that is the nearest out of the lot, we're going to collect all of as much doubloons as we can. And we're going to get this generator down here. So this guy's going to run straight at us. And I'm going to start that generator up there. I'm also going to collect these jet diamonds here. Now, the one thing I will mention is that we're probably going to have enough doubloons by the time the Montressa race finishes. So I forgot to mention like the planets and things like that. So you visit several locations in the game. So this is Montressa. We also have... I won't be able to get that, so I'm going to have to wait. Well, I guess we have to wait anyway. But you've got Montressa, you have Spaceport. Oops, hello. I guess we're falling through the map again. Okay, then. Let's see where we are. Where are we? We are not here. Okay, we seem to have gone in a bit of a circle there. That's interesting. Okay, well, I guess... There we go. Ooh, just about got that. Okay. So luckily Jim can grab ledges, so it's not too bad. And the reason why we don't use this death abuse thing here is because you can actually skip the trigger to load the level, which means that all this might not appear. And you can basically wreck the level, so it's not great. What we're going to do is get rid of him. Power the... So that's 4 generators powered. We do actually have enough to power the 5th one. But... what we're not going to do is we're not going to do that because we don't want to do that. We'll get a token for dealing with all of the generators, which is good. So what we're going to do here is what we now need to do is we need to get back over that green gate again. So by using this glitch, we're able to do that. So we're now able to go, if I go like this, I should be able, yeah, okay, I'm back here again. That's good. So the game's going to load everything back in again. And you may be wondering what happens now. So we go and talk to this guy over here, and he says that the generators have been overrun with bandits.
You got it. I'll help stop the bandits and defend those generators.
Jim says he'll help. Which is all fine and dandy, except for the fact that we've already done 4 out of 5. So we still need to do that 5th one. Like I said, this is to stop the game from breaking. This is why we do this. So we're going to go to here, jump over this. Then the next thing we're going to do here is we're going to get that life. So what that will do, as soon as you collect the 5th one, this happens. You get a crystal, a token, sorry. So there's quite a lot going on. So we've got the 5th generator, and as soon as you have the 5th generator done, it resets you back at the start, which is useful. We made ourselves vulnerable again to dying by getting the, basically we're able to game over now. The reason why we're able to game over and why we want to do that is because of the fact of this. So when we start again, we now start, well, firstly we start with 5 bulbs, but the next thing that we do is we're now going to go to here and use these crystals. And then we're going to do that, and that's it. That is the first level done and dusted. Now, we've got 5 tokens. The next one is all about collecting the 3. So this one's a race. It's 6 laps long. It's all about the race. And what we need to do is complete it within a certain amount of time. But we also need to collect doubloons. And hopefully we'll get 200 by the time this finishes. If that's the case, then we won't have to do any gem collecting or anything in Spaceport. That's all fine and dandy. So I'm going to try get everything here. But whilst I'm doing my race and picking diamonds up and doubloons, has our host got anything they would like to say? I don't know if he's around. If he's around, he might be around. He may be away, maybe having a nice cuppa. Also, he probably will be. Yeah, it's a basic racing segment. There's not too much to say about this. This game, I forgot to mention, this game did also get a PS2 release. So because, as I said before, it released on the PS1, but it also released on the PS2 the same year. This was, bear in mind, this was quite late into the PS1's life cycle. So by the time this released, in 2002, the PS1 was well past its best and the PS2 was in full swing. So as a result, this was one of a few games where they got a PS1 and a PS2 release. So we're used to it still these days, where we're having games release on the current generation, then they get moved to a newer generation of console and they get released on that. But yeah, it's all fine and dandy. Yeah, nice and easy, nice and simple. Nothing too big. Also, I'm aware it is going a bit dark at the moment on the camera. It's just because of the lighting. Trust me, I could fix that in a heartbeat. Yeah, you actually go through these interesting designs. It's quite cool actually, because if you slow down enough, you can see the characters digging into the rock and doing mining and everything like that. I will say as well, so the PS1 game is quite a short game, quite fun, quite short, and the glitches are quite useful. The PS2 version is a fair bit longer. It looks quite well. It looks quite good as well for the age that it is. You may also see as well, I've not even really mentioned this, there are these movie clip things. So if you collect all of them, you unlock a movie clip. from the film. So yeah, there is a lot of movie clips from the film in this game. But yeah, that's another one. So every time I go up a ramp, I have to jump. So you hit R2, I think L2 does the same. No, L2 just does that, no. It is R2, never mind. L2 shows you progress of where you're currently at. It's like a bit of an overview HUD, I think, which is quite good. Yeah, I'm going to quickly get across the line. And as soon as that screen comes up, I can do that. I can literally do that. So we're going to immediately go to Spaceport. Now, 1 second. Okay, so the death glitch that we did in Spaceport, we're going to do that again. Here, because... sorry, what we did in Montressa, we're doing that here as well. Because it makes the game a lot easier to do. So what we're going to do here is you're going to see me do this. Mainly because of the fact of it makes things so much easier. So you can see there, Jim has his death animation. And then immediately we're going to load the stage back up again. We have to wait. So the reason why I'm doing this is because the fact that now, if you're a seasoned player, you can do this without doing that. And the game will run much better. It'll be a lot faster. But for a first-time player, you can actually make this work. And personally speaking, if you were to run this game the first time, definitely would recommend doing it. So what we need to do here is, funnily enough, the flyer things are going to be very key to us getting a token. So in this, what we need to do is we need to get 4 tokens. So we're going to get 1 for all of them. We're going to get one that's like hidden, plus do some favors for a few people and everything like that as well. So what we're going to do here is do this. There we go. So this guy is going to ask us to guard his stall. So what we're going to do is do some rat extermination. I'm going to run around and exterminate all of his rats to stop him getting in his fruit stall. And then, like that. Now they are on a cycle, so as soon as one dies, you can easily zap the next one if you know where to go. Eventually they start running in, like, the order becomes quite easy. It's like, right, okay. So you got like one there, one there, one there. There you go, and then it comes back there again. So the thing is that I think they do 2 or 3 rounds of it. So we're going to have to run around a fair bit here and keep blasting all the rats. That's fine. We'll start running a bit faster now, to be honest. So what that means is we'll have to run faster. And they start like trying to get to you a bit more like that, like no, we'll get there. There we go. He'll give us another token because we guarded his stall. So because we're invincible, any damage from any of the enemies we won't actually get hurt by. So they can fire these gun things all they want. It does not matter at all. Like, it generally does not matter. So we're going to go here. Grab another token. So he's going to try and shoot us. To no avail, I'll be honest. But nevertheless. So you may notice as well that the skybox is black. So the skybox is black because of the fact that we've activated the void. So that's the reason for it. Them guys are just going to zap because we can do. So we've got there's a fair bit of glitching in this as well, so we'll see about how we get on. For the most part, it's not too bad, to be honest. So we need to spawn outside, which we have done. You can see here that it's gone very dark outside, including where you're going, where you're landing. So it's like, oh my god, he's going into the darkness. Don't worry, he'll be back. So for me, this is the hardest bit, because... excuse me. Because after we collect the second one here, there's a fair bit that's going to happen now. First and foremost, we're going to go up these stairs here, and we're going to actually do the stage backwards. You're supposed to do the stage one direction. But what we're actually going to do is we're going to do it a different way round. So I'm going to not take that checkpoint there. He can shoot us all he wants. So what we need back here, or what's back here that we need, is we need the paper there. Plus, we need the diamond, which is back here. And then what's going to happen is, now, again, if I can get this, because it's a bit tricky to get, so you'll have to forgive me if I don't get this straight away. It's a bit difficult because I now need to kind of navigate rooms without doing them. So what I'm going to do here is hopefully get the edge. No, I did not. Okay, so what I can do here is I can do this. So the room's loaded, so it's fine. I can see the room. So what I'll do is I'll go all the way down here to him. There we go. Now this won't matter too much because we've got through that. That's a relief that I'm done with that section. That bit's a bit tenderizing, tantalizing, I think, because as I was saying, you can easily you can do the void stuff, but the problem is you're doing it blind. Like a lot of it is like you're falling into the void and you don't know where you're actually going to end up. So one of the main things is we want to try and get this crystal here, like that. And that means we can now move up. Now, the reason why we need 200 doubloons, I will just quickly mention, we need 200 doubloons because of the fact that we need to be part of this warehouse union thing. Now, this isn't skippable. You can't skip this. So we're going to have to deal with that. There is also a mini-game over here to our left, on our left now. But we don't need to do that, to be honest. So that's fine. Now he'll keep shooting me, it's fine, nothing's gonna happen. I'm sorry to tell him that, but nothing's gonna happen. So then what we need to do here is I need to get up, to the next level. So what we're gonna do is do the falling glitch. That allows us to fall right near here. We can easily do this. Like that. Now, he won't hurt us either, that's the other thing to mention. So by being invincible, I can easily just do this, like so. Again, there's a lot of this glitching stuff. Now, it will be a bit difficult because you eventually get into the zone a bit here. So this will be fairly certain. Yes, it is. Okay, we've got a checkpoint. I'll activate that checkpoint. Like I said, he can't hurt us. It's fine. So what we need to do now is we're going to go up there. Up here, and we're going to use our, so we're going to stand on this platform here. This will give us a laser, and what we need to do is shoot that. There we go. So that will activate that for us. All fine, dandy. Okay, I missed that. Never mind. Doesn't matter. Luckily, we've still got invincibility on, so it's fine. So I'm going to quickly do this. So we're going to quickly go here, and we're going to make ourselves vulnerable again. What we're also going to do, I'm going to collect all this, but that's fine. I didn't actually need most of that, so it's fine. And now what we're going to do is, we now got to run past this guy, so he can now kill me. So can any enemy I see. They can all kill me, if I'm not careful. So, he's going to try and kill me. He won't be able to do that. Okay, so what I need to do here is avoid the barrels. Jump onto the middle section here. And then what we're going to do is I'm going to jump off here like so and climb up here. What we're now going to do is we're now going to get the 11th token.
Certified by the Pirate Treasure Mint to be 100% authentic.
So he will try and shoot me. There we go. He did actually get a good shot there. I'll give him that. Lucky shot. So what we're going to do here is talk to this guy, give him 200 doubloons.
Welcome to the warehouse.
So now that we've done that, we can split there, and that's the end of Spaceport. So now what we're going to do is we've got our first boss of the game. Now I will just kind of quickly mention, most of the run is actually done already. Because all we've got to do now is defeat the Scrooge boss, do 2 races, defeat another boss, and then do another race, and that's it. So Scrooge has 3 phases. So you can see here by pressing square that I'm able to get a grenade. Excuse me. So what I need to wait until... There we go. So again, he's gonna be mighty angry. So we've thrown a load of grenades at him. So now he's trying to kill us by doing that. So what we need to do is get these 3 bits here. There we go. So that's his second phase. His third phase is literally about throwing crates. He throws 3 crates, then 1 more, and goes, whoop, and then we go like that. And then rinse and repeat. So all we got to do here is just, like I said, he will do this 3 times. There we go. There we go, and defeated. That's him defeated. That's the Scrooge boss defeated. Now what we got to do, like I said, to finish out the game, all we need to do is do the Spaceport race, the Legacy race, defeat Silver, and then the Treasure Planet race. So now we've got basically 6 minutes of racing. So yeah, if our host, if Sim wants to say anything, then feel free to go right ahead. You've got at least 5 or so minutes. Got time. I can collect money here, it doesn't matter. Also, I'm going to collect all the lives I can during this because you just don't know what might happen. Collecting lives at this point is always a good idea just because of the fact of, well, basically, above all else, you might end up losing a few lives, so collecting lives now is a perfect chance. Like I said, I don't have to collect anything, really, genuinely speaking. I'm just collecting these for the sake of collecting them. So, yeah. Easily do that. Aha, there you go. So, unfortunately, this game doesn't work like Crash Bandicoot, where it's like you collect 100 doubloons or whatever it is, 100 coins or 101 per fruit, and you get another life. That's just not how the game works. You have to actually go out and find the extra lives on that one. So yeah, there you go. Honestly speaking, I mean, I kind of give my backstory about this game as well. So I played this game a lot when I was a kid. I do remember getting stuck slightly, I think, when I was at Spaceport, but I never got past Treasure Planet because Treasure Planet has a part where you have to sneak around the space pirates. Like, there's not really too much to it other than sneaking around them. But yeah, you have to be careful regarding them. And in a speedrun, you can imagine that every second counts, so it's like, no pressure or anything, but, you know, it's one of them, really. I've actually got enough doubloons as well to... I actually have enough doubloons to already beat everything. God. Okay, so Legacy Race next. And Legacy Race is a bit difficult. So I have to do... This is also, like, nearly perfect. You can afford to make maybe one mistake, but, like, for the most part, this is not an easy race whatsoever. This is actually where you can fail it. So there is at least one hard race, to be honest. And, yeah, it gets me on edge. You may notice that I nearly jumped out of my seat then. That's because one thing that this game likes to do, or on this particular level at least, is it loves to eat your inputs. So I'm hoping, like really hoping it doesn't eat mine. Yeah. Hopefully it doesn't eat my inputs. So we'll see how this goes, to be honest. So apologies if I go quiet a little bit. Because, yeah, it's not easy. I might make it look easy, but believe me, I'm really trying. Because you need a gold medal in this, and to get the gold medal, you need to drive really well and not hit anything, don't lose any inputs or anything like that. I'm not saying you have to play it perfect, but you near enough do have to play it perfect. It is just one of them races where you just get it over with, you know? Like, in racing games, there are them races that you just want to get rid of. And just be like, I wish this wasn't part of the route. This is that race, to be honest. I'm going to keep collecting time. The time, I think, also comes off how fast you beat this. So here's a fun one. So, the game company that made this game also helped make the Stuart Little 2 game on the PS1. So yeah, if the HUDs and if you play them games, you'll notice that the HUDs are very similar. So yeah, the more you know. Interesting, really, where it's like how you can tell certain game companies made similar games. So I think it was like Disney's Treasure Planet, Stuart Little 2. Maybe Toy Story, I think. Toy Story 2. Again, same situation there, so it's like... Yeah, well, you know. Also, that is the Legacy Race done and dusted, which is great news for me, because that means that I have got through one of the hardest bits of the run. You may be wondering why you say one of the hardest bits. Well, this is the second reason. So, this is the fight against Long John Silver, who's the cyborg, and basically the planet is falling to pieces around you, and it's you versus him. What you need to do, he has 3 phases. His first phase here involves activating these 3 light bulbs. Now, just for the sake of things, I'm not going to play things really risky. So, get that one there. There we go. So I just need him to shoot a blue one. Of course he won't. There we go. So that's his first phase. So you blow the 3 things up there. Then his second phase is where he has a 6 mine thing. So now what happens is he'll fire these mines. So what will happen is every even numbered round, so this is round 1. Round 1, there'll be no mines, so you just have to avoid them. Round 2, once the mines start activating, what will happen is that will happen, and you can then throw the mine that doesn't explode back at him. So then, this is round 3. Again, what we need to do is stay in one spot. Now, I believe these are fired around the same places every time. But, yeah. We've got the 4th one here. Now, if I will just mention, if I stand on the right side when all the mines are fired on around, then what happens is the sixth on the if I'm on the right when he fires them all over, one on the left will go off, and on the left it will open the one on the right. So it's like, ooh. We got last one. So these all have like a spider's web. There we go. What's going to happen now is that we'll move into the third and final phase. We have to wait for this cutscene to end. So what's going to happen now is he's going to be scanning, going up and down like that, and we're going to try and catch gems and throw the gems at him, which will help us defeat him. So I just need to keep my eye out for the gems. What will happen now is that's the first one. I have to be very careful with this. I missed the second gem, which is a shame. So hopefully I can catch the gem. Fires it. Okay, so I missed the third gem. Hopefully I get it before he... Oh, I might be able to see it. There we go. There we go. Right. Last gem. Last one. It's a bit tricky, this one. So, okay, maybe not. There we go. So we defeated Silver. And that allows us to move on to the final race in the game. So the final race here being the Treasure Planet race. And then once we do this, time will be after, not after I cross the finish line, but it will be after I press X to continue after the race is finished. So I'll let you know when time is. Now, I will be honest about this. This one is a bit difficult because of the fact that it's very dynamic. So up until now, when we have been doing the races have been the same every time. But on this one, what's going to happen is we are going to have a dilemma. So you can see already that the planet has fallen to pieces. So what's going to happen now is Jim is going to attempt to escape from Treasure Planet. Now I'm going to collect as much money as I want. It doesn't really matter here for the final total. So I'll be collecting a lot of doubloons and things like that. We'll probably have 500 to be honest. Again, don't need to, but there you go. Also, that jump is notorious for eating. It is notorious for eating inputs there, so hopefully we don't get that. But that one there. Again, we've got another one then. A couple of these. And two. Back up here. So what's going to happen here is you can see that that entire side bit has gone. So we're now going to have to fly around that every time we do a lap. These green things here will actually is going to come up to the side. We do have to be careful. So I'm going to do a few jumps here and there. But you can tell that the planet is falling to pieces. So at this point in the film, Jim, Captain Amelia, I think, and John Silver plus Ben, who's the residential robot. He is also on the ship and they're all trying to get out. It also gives me one of my favourite moments in the film, where Jim basically says, if I'm not back in 5 minutes, leave without me. So at which point Ben's like, no, I will not leave my buddy. And at which point he pulls Jim out from underneath the ship and he's got two wires held together as if to say he's going to blow everything up. And he's like, unless he looks at me like that, bye Jim, and then just drops him. It's quite a funny scene, to be honest. It has some humour as well. Like, this is one of the films that a lot of people tend to want to forget about, because it's like, oh, it was that time when Disney wasn't sure about the 3D era of films, and obviously they made Toy Story and things like that, but it was using, like, I think new CGI 3D techniques or something, I don't know. But it flopped. This movie was panned a lot at the box office, along with Atlantis, for those who've watched that film as well. This was that weird era for Disney where it's like, oh, they did like a different tale on Atlantis and a different tale on Treasure Island. And personally speaking, I'm glad that Disney did it. You know, I'm glad that Disney tried something different, personally. But, yeah, if tech is ready on time, I'll give you a heads up when the run is finished. Oh, a second. Oh, I didn't quite get all of them. Never mind. I missed a coin or two somewhere. It's fine. And then through here. So time is going to be coming up once I hit X. So if you're ready on time, time will be. Time's going to be now. So that's time. So that's 39:51 something or 39:52. But yeah, that is the end of the run. Like I said, so yeah, see this time where it's like, oh okay, they're now easily going through the game. You know, it's like, oh, they're all celebrating, everything's happy. I won't explain much of the game past that, but yeah, so it's Magenta Software. That's what I couldn't think of. Magenta Software made a load of games in the late 90s, early 2000s that made a lot of tie-in games. So Stuart Little 2, Treasure Planet, and Toy Story 2, I think. But yeah, you can tell the games are all made with Magenta Software because of the fact that, or Magenta Interactive, whatever they are, because they're like the art style and the font style is very similar, and like the music is sort of similar. It's different for the games, like you don't get the same piece of gaming twice, but you can tell like it's kind of made by the same developer or same company. But yeah, if you haven't seen the film or played the game, would highly recommend it. You can get this game on PAL or NTSC, PS1 if you wish to do so. There is a PS2 version if you wish to play it on the PS2. It is a different game on PS2, I'll be completely honest. And I believe there's a Game Boy Advance version, which is like a 2.5D-ish game, like, so it's set from like a top-down perspective like the old Zelda games, but you know, like in a 3D world sort of thing. It's a bit weird how to put it, but yeah, feel free to give that game a try if you wish to do so. But it's not over yet for me. I believe we have another one of mine coming next, but yeah, I'll hand it back over to our host, so all yours.
Okay, oh sorry, I had to yawn there for a minute. Right, so yes, we do have another run by Viper Races. It's driver all Timmy Vermicelli's, or Vermicelli's, I don't actually remember how to pronounce that. Which we will be going over to in a moment. We'll put the intermission screen on whilst we make the changes on the tech side of things, and then we'll go over to that shortly. Hopefully very shortly, because once again, we are running a little bit behind schedule, but it's fine. But yeah, so in any case, thank you Viper for the run. Don't forget everybody that we are also doing this as a charity event for Everyone Can. If you'd like to donate, then type !donate in the chat or click on the links in relevant places or scan the QR code on screen to go to the donation page, and the donations through there will go to Everyone Can. We'll send the donations to Everyone Can at the end because we're the ones who process it, and obviously there is the 10% donation fee, which you can also optionally add to your donation as well. And there's also the incentive to choose a name for the Little Gator game by Shotu later on. Final time on our end is 39:52, so that's the final time on the Disney Treasure Planet any percent. Have you got any last things you'd like to say, or have you said everything you need to say for now, and we'll make our way to the next run?
Just to quickly just shout out the Treasure Planet speedrunning community. It's not very big, it's only a small group of people, but I think Kawaii Tavern, or Kawaii Taxon, I think it is, and a couple other people, I can't remember the names, so I'm sorry guys, but you know who you are, you're an awesome bunch. It is a small little community, but would highly recommend joining it if you wish to do so. And my own community, of course, and yeah, so I got my own community, and also my partner, Linky. She's been amazing, so yeah, don't know what I'd do without her. Yeah.
Shout out to partners everywhere. I don't have
That's
one,
it.
but if you do have one, shout out to them or her, him, them, whoever, whatever they are. Right. So we'll go on now to our next run. Driver, all team Vermichase. We'll put the intermission screen on for briefly as we make the tech changes on our end, and then we will see the next run. So thank you, Viper, and we'll see you in 5 minutes.
No problem.